welcome to my channel. I am Manaka. This is my channel, Manaka. So like I said in the last video, I am uploading my e-course, human design e-course. The reason why I'm doing it is in the TikTok and it will be on the YouTube shorts. Okay, I need y'all to understand that I am trying to share this right now. I was going to share it and make everyone pay because it took so long to post this, but I think it's just better if I just share it, because there's a lot of people who ask me questions and I'm willing to answer all those questions. But I will still have the program on Patreon. So if you want deeper questions, especially the ones that aren't, like, you can ask me questions of the things I talk about in this video, or the videos that will to come, the last video, this video, the videos that are to come. I am dressed the same because it is the same day, but you will see it on a different day, okay? So yeah, I think that's all. I think that's all I wanted to say. But yeah, enjoy. Generators need to respond to life. So I think this one has been an interesting one for me because I'm a generator, where we have this tendency to forget that life is always happening, right? From the tweets we see when we're scrolling, from the videos we see when we're scrolling on TikTok, from the things that are happening around us, it is what causes the emotions that happen within us, right? And the biggest thing that I've learned is that we need to understand how to differentiate what to respond to and what not to. If it's a no, breathe and just carry on with whatever that you were doing. If it's something that's right in front of you and is a no, like obviously as adults, and we have this thing where sometimes we feel like we need to talk about something immediately. Say somebody comes to you with a query or an issue or whatever, and it's a no for you. You can literally say to the person, I don't actually want to talk about this right now. Can we talk about it later? If they want a reason why, you can tell them if that is a yes for you, or you can say to them, please just give me time. But the world is the world, unfortunately. Okay, so generators need to respond to life. You can still script or journal or dream boards or do dream boards. However, you need to wait for things to come into your aura so you can respond to it using your authority. So that is literally everything, like I was saying. From the people you talk to in a day, from the conversations that come up, you pull in everything that you want. Hence the reason why our aura is like this. So everything that you want everything, the things that you don't want and the things that you want will always come into your aura. When it's the right time, they'll always come into your aura, and it's whether you say yes or no. Yes or no. And if it's not a hell yes, then it's a no. If it's a maybe, it's a no. Okay. Where am I? Things coming into your aura can be anything from words in a song, social media posts, visuals, conversations. If it sparks you up, giving you a definite yes in your gut, then work on that and wait for more things to respond to. So, say for example, my e-course. I thought of doing my e-course from the beginning of 2023, right? I had already released my e-book, and I had already released the free mini e-course that goes with the e-book that are related to each other, because we all learn in different ways. Some of us learn better through reading, some of us learn better through explanations and videos and section by section, and human design helps us to get to the point of how we learn. So I try to spread out that kind of information. I try to give it out in different formats so that everybody can learn from this. So I started it, I wrote it out, and then once my energy was not there anymore, I left it for a bit. And it is something that you think about because that's how we taught. Like, you were supposed to finish it. You were supposed to finish that project. Why haven't you finished that project? But I didn't have the energy for it. And if I forced it, it was going to come out in a way that I wouldn't have liked. So I left it and I just chilled. I relaxed. And now we're in 2024 and I am doing it again. I am continuing it. I started with the creative of it and I started with these videos of explanations and all of that. And I'm enjoying it because now I feel the energy for it. But when I don't have the time for and all the energy for it, I let it be. I let it chill. Like, you'll even notice my outfits will change because I don't record everything in one day because it is a lot. And I don't want to finish my energy or deplete my energy when I know I can give the best of what I know in this without overdoing it. And then it will be taken from, and people will take it in such a good way where it won't feel like it's overdone. So that makes sense. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, and then when I'm done recording and doing all of this, then there will be another thing that will come into my aura that will be like, yes, now it's time to release the e-course. I mean, obviously, when you see this, it'll be released already, but there's though that's how you respond. Like, not every single thing needs that, but I like to do that especially for bigger projects like this. It's just like buying a house. Same thing. Things will come into your aura. You can look in. You can look at houses and all of that, and then the things that are associated with that will come into your aura. Then you respond to it, and then if it's a hell yes, then you go for it. And it doesn't always have to be the first option because the thing about being a generator is that better options, the one that you can feel in your gut, that is for you. If it's an option that looks really good but your gut says no, then it's not for you. Then there will be a better option that's better suited to what you are and what you, I guess, need in a later stage. And I know we're always in a rush as humans, but that's what we need to learn. We need to learn to be patient and we need to learn to go with the flow of life. Um, Generators are always responding to life because that is what our aura does automatically. They just need to learn how to work to tell what is for them and what isn't. Not everything that is offered to you by the universe is for you. You will be able to tell by your gut yes or no. Listen. Okay, manifesting generators respond to life and can still get what they want by waiting for the things to show up in their aura to respond to, and then informing those it will affect. Read both manifestors and generators. So for this one, you just need to go back, right? Go to generator first. I know it's called manifesting generator, but go to generator first because the thing is, you still need to respond first before you are informing. So you respond first. Then once you respond, you inform. That gut yes will give you the opportunity to inform. Um, okay, projectors need to get a personal invitation for the things they want, which basically means you need to do your normal manifesting techniques, script or journal or do dream boards, prayer, however you wait for the personal invitation. Example, hey Luna, you should buy a car, or why don't you apply for that job? This is this is directed at you and not something you just think up and initiate. So if you actually look at the types, none of the types are supposed to just think. Like, I know a lot of the time we just think and we do. When then we do, and then we're shocked when things just don't work out for us. And then we start thinking of it's bad luck, we think it's witchcraft, we think all of these crazy things, karma, whatever. And these things can also be factors, but we need to understand ourselves and our innate emotionality before we can bring it to other things and blame other things. We're very good at blaming other things. Sometimes the invites don't necessarily have your name in it. However, in order to get the invite, you need to first be recognized. So projectors are the ones that need to show themselves, right? They need to show themselves, show what they're good at, what they can do. Being able to show yourself, especially now in this day and age, right? Where you talk about the kinds of things that you do. If somebody might suggest something to you, like if you're good at, say, I guess social media, and somebody says to you, you're actually really good at this. I think you should do this and this and this. I have a friend who's a projector who is a herbalist in a sense and a fashionista, well, a fashion designer, right? And it's good because she is showcasing what she does. It's good because she's actually showing the world what she does. She doesn't, from my opinion, she doesn't show it enough, but I think she is showing it because I was able to know her through these kinds of things. Yes, we met through spirituality, but I was able to know her through the things that she does. And it's exciting because I'm like, wow, you're actually really good at this. Why don't you? You know, or they give you something that they want to start and you're like, oh, I'm excited for this. When is it happening? When is it happening? You know? So that's the kind of thing that projectors need. They need to show what they are good at and bring it back to the world and just like wait for somebody to be like, listen, I am recognizing you. I see what you do. I love what you do. Invite, come work with me. Simple as that. Um, in the chart, you can see that every single part of the chart can be defined except the sacral. Oh yes, I forgot to say that. It's fine. Now, if you look at the charts that I did put from manifestor, generator, manifesting generator, they're not all accurate. I was just trying to show more or less how you are able to connect to your what is this called? How you are able to connect to your strategy. So that's why I made them those specific parts the ones that are defined in a sense. From your manifestor defining to your neck, your throat, to your generator defining to your sacral, to your manifesting generator defining to your throat and your sacral, and the projector defining to literally everything else except the sacral. Reflectors need to wait a lunar cycle before making decisions. Okay, so this is what I was explaining before when I was saying that they are energy sampling. So making a decision really quickly for them could be due to the fact that somebody else has that energy and that won't work out for them. So they need to make decisions. They need to wait 28 days, not for everything, mainly the big things like moving, buying a house, buying a car, changing jobs, getting into a relationship, getting out of relationships. The the wait is usually for the bigger things because these are the things that you need to be sure about. Like I said, every day they interact with things and people that will affect them. And they always need to clear their energy so they can be grounded within themselves. And it's like when you clear your energy at the end of the day, do you feel that that thing that you wanted in the morning is still what you want? If it is what you still want within 28 days, then go for it. So reflectors need to wait BB. Okay, this has to do with mirroring that reflectors do. So they need to go through all the cycles of the moon to see if what they wanted 28 days ago still lights them up. If not, it wasn't their energy to begin with. If you're not a reflector, this isn't something you'll understand because it isn't your aura type and will never be your aura type. That's the reason why I was saying before we have this weird tendency to like want to fight for something that is not ours, right? And reflectors are like the empaths of the empaths. They like the highest level of empath. And like I was saying before, if you are an empath, you will know that it's difficult to get into a room and the energy is already really dense, right? Imagine feeling that every single moment of every single day. You feel the elation, the happiness, the pure joy. You feel the sadness, the depression. You feel all of it. And for some reason, sometimes you feel like it's yours. So you have to sit with yourself and be like, oh, what is happening? Is this mine? Ground yourself, meditate, pray, so you can get back to yourself. Hence the reason why for biggest decisions, it takes that long. And yes, it feels like it's a long time for a lot of us because as adults, we have this tendency to always want to shift and move and be. But we're forgetting that life moves regardless. And if you start making decisions that are correct for you and your core self, that life will move in such smooth and beautiful ways that it'll be fine. Like, yes, it feels like life is just speeding up and we're not catching up to it, but we need to understand that there will be a point where life is for us. Whew. I'm gonna finish this one because I can feel my sacral energy is getting finished. My sacral energy is like, knock it off, knock it off. You can see it in the way I'm starting to speak. Um, blah, 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 blah. Okay, these five types are all very unique yet beautiful in their own way. They each give a part of a working machine, and without one of them, things can tend to fall apart. We need manifestors to give us innovation, we need projectors to guide us, we need generators to give us the energy to the things. To give the energy to the things they love and build it up, and we need reflectors to give us a view of realities we might not be able to see. Um, So the next one, I will be in a different outfit. I did say part one. Section one, part one is actually one of the longest of, I think it is the longest of this whole thing, but I can feel my whole body shutting down. So I'm going to listen to my sacral. I'm going to listen to how it's telling me to not do any more of this because this is like studying, even to me, even because I know it. And I'm going to listen to myself and either wait for later or wait for another day to record the rest of this. But I really hope you're enjoying it. If you have any notes, if you have anything to say, please do let me know. I am back again for section one, part one continued. It has been a bit of a difficult time to get back into it because of my energy and how it flows. I have a lot of projects that I'm doing. So, because I'm a generator, it takes away from all the other projects. So, bear with me, please. Okay, so we are now on authority. Once you know your type, you basically know what will work for you. Then you need to find which way you'll know if it's right for you or not. We've been living in a world where thinking about things and making decisions without feeling it within our bodies has been the norm for years. So, thinking or making decisions from the mind and what we think is right. And that has a lot to do with trauma responses, it has a lot to do with how we've been conditioned. And this, if you look at this will show you the different types of channels, but it's not particularly how you become, say, a projector or the authority type for a projector or a manifestor and the authority type for a manifestor, but I will explain that later. We do have a few motor centers. The only one that doesn't have a motor center is the reflector because it's completely undefined. So the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, the root are all motor centers, and they're the ones that need to be defined in order for you to have a specific type of authority. Um, Usually, what's a sacral is before any of the other ones. No. Solar plexus is before any one of the other ones. Hence the reason why you get the emotional generator. The emotional generator comes from the solar plexus and the sacral being defined. Um, then the direction centers are the crown, the G identity, and which is the G center, and the heart, which is also known as the ego. There are seven authorities, namely sacral, emotional, ego, splenic, self projected, outer, and lunar. Sacral is only for the generators and manifesting generators, as the defined sacral makes a generator, which is a gut feeling, understanding your body's yeses or nos, the ums, the ahs, the uh-uhs. So if you can see the gold, you'll see these are the things that can be defined in your chart, but the thing that needs a specific connection for manifesting generator would be from the sacral to the throat, which will make you a manifester throat generator sacral. And then you'll see with the generator there can be a lot of different connections as long as they connect you to your sacral. um, Whereas emotional authority is created with a defined solar plexus and needs you to basically ride the emotional wave before making decisions. Making decisions when your emotions aren't too high or low and following your gut yes or no. So this has to do with like any emotion, bad or good, however you view it, you do need to take your time with making a decision, especially making big decisions. So, whether you're excited, whether you're sad, upset, whatever, you do need to sit back and take the time to let everything marinate so you can make a clear decision. Your decisions need to be made when you are more, I'd say, monotone or what's the word? That these decisions need to be done when you're more in a zen state. So the generators who have emotional authority, the projectors who have emotional authority. So generators with emotional authority will have the sacral and the solar plexus defined, and then the projectors will have obviously the solar plexus defined, connecting to, as you can see, the gold wherever it goes, connecting to any other center, usually being either the root or the heart, I believe it is. But I believe that the heart being defined, especially if it's connected from the G center to the heart, that would make it ego, but we'll get to that. Then manifestors as well can have the emotional connected to the throat. Remember, the throat is for the manifester as they use that to manifest. Then the splenic authority is having a defined spleen. People can have a defined spleen without being splenic authority. It just mainly means that you are more likely to understand, you are more likely to understand things in the moment or be able to use your intuition in the moment. Splenic authority is having a defined spleen without a defined sacral or solar plexus. So, as you can see, the solar plexus and the sacral are what are looked at first. If you have a defined solar plexus, you will be emotional. If you don't have a defined solar plexus but you have a sacral, you will be a generator. And the splenic is an immediate knowing, inner knowing. So this is where you need to understand that your intuition. So it is one of the very first centers that was available to us according to Ra. So when you have the splenic as an authority, any decisions you make, they do need to be in the moment. Anything that you think of otherwise or opposite after that is you second guessing yourself. Ego authority is when you have a defined ego. People with ego authority, which is the heart, will be either manifestors or projectors. They will be ego authority if, say, the ego, the heart is connected to the throat for manifestors, or the heart is connected to, say, the spleen or or the G center for projectors. The self projected have defined throats connected to the G center, as you can see here. This won't be a manifester, this is always a projector, the self projected. It's the ones who need to speak out loud about their decisions or to get clarity for their decisions. So you can either speak out loud for yourself or a sounding board, or you can speak to other people. Then there's environmental and outer. Environmental or outer, which is mental authority, which usually has to do with having only these two centers defined. So the top two, the anya and the crown. Um, this basically means that you are in your head. Everything else will be undefined, and it will mean that because everything else is undefined, that means that you do need, almost like how reflectors are, where you need to have different kind of experiences, but because you have the mental clarity and you have those things that are happening in your head and your anya, which is thoughts, and it's thinking, you need a different environment to assist in guiding you. And finally, lunar authority, which is only reflectors, as they do not have any defined centers, in the lunar cycle, which is 28 days, to think about a decision or let it simmer in a sense before making it. So it doesn't always need to be 28 days, but 28 days will give you the clarity that you need, because as reflectors, because they don't have any defined centers, it means that in every situation, in every environment, in every person that they meet or come across, they will be testing and picking up other people's traits and things that they want. So you will never be sure in one moment. If it's something that you think of, say, for that 28 days, and it's still something that you want, then it is your own and not something that you picked up from somebody else, for example.